Do you really know what led to the fall of Robert Griffin III? There are many misconceptions about his injury and who is truly to blame. But the injury isn't the full story behind his career's collapse. The real reason might surprise you. Robert Griffin III grew up in a military family, and after his parents retired, they settled in Central Texas. Although football became his claim to fame, track was actually his best sport in high school. In 11th grade, he was the #1 400-meter hurdler in the country. That same year, he became the varsity starting quarterback. Over 2 seasons, Griffin became a 4-star recruit and the 6th best dual-threat quarterback in the class of 2008. Despite offers from Tennessee, Kansas, and Nebraska, he chose to stay in Texas and attend Baylor to play both football and run track. Griffin graduated high school early to join Baylor's track team for the 2008 season. At just 17, he began his freshman football season as Baylor's backup quarterback. However, by the 4th drive of the first game, he was on the field and never returned to the bench. His freshman year stats were impressive: 59% completion rate, 2,000 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, plus 843 rushing yards and 13 more touchdowns. These performances earned him the Big 12 Freshman of the Year award. In 2009, Griffin tore his ACL in the 3rd game of the season, sidelining him for the year. He returned in 2010 stronger than ever, completing 67% of his passes for 3,500 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions, along with 635 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns. By 2011, although he wasn't initially favored for the Heisman Trophy, his performance led Baylor to a victory over number 14 TCU, and he continued to excel throughout the season. He completed 72% of his passes for 4,200 yards, 37 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, with 699 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns, earning him the Heisman Trophy. Griffin declared for the 2012 NFL Draft and was considered the 2nd-best quarterback after Andrew Luck. The Washington team, desperate for a quarterback, traded their 6th overall pick, 2nd-round pick, and 1st-round picks in 2013 and 2014 to the Rams for the 2nd overall selection. They also drafted Kirk Cousins in the 4th round as a backup. Griffin's NFL debut against the Saints was spectacular, with a 73% completion rate, 362 total yards, 2 touchdowns, and a win. He became the first rookie quarterback to win the NFC Offensive Player of the Week in their first game. Despite Washington's struggles, Griffin continued to shine, leading the team to several victories and ultimately securing the NFC East title, earning Pro Bowl honors and the Rookie of the Year award. However, in a Week 14 matchup against the Ravens, Griffin injured his knee but returned to the field, only to aggravate the injury. He was diagnosed with a sprained LCL and was questionable for the playoffs. Despite concerns, Griffin insisted on playing in the playoff game against Seattle. Washington took an early lead, but Griffin's injury worsened, leading to a catastrophic fall that required surgery. Griffin's recovery was rushed, and by the start of the 2013 season, he was determined to become a pocket passer, abandoning the read option plays that had made him successful. This change, combined with his incomplete recovery, led to struggles on the field. Washington ended the season 3-13, resulting in Mike Shanahan's firing. Griffin's 2014 season was marred by injuries, and by 2015, Kirk Cousins had taken over as the starter. Griffin was released by Washington and later signed with the Browns, but injuries continued to plague his career. He briefly joined the Ravens to mentor Lamar Jackson, a player with a similar style to Griffin's early career. In the end, Griffin's downfall was a mix of injuries, premature returns, and a drastic shift in play style. While his injury history didn't help, the rush to return and the abandonment of his strengths as a player played significant roles. Griffin remains one of the NFL's greatest what-ifs, a talent that, with different decisions, might have had a much different career trajectory. As a high school athlete in Texas, Robert Griffin III was a track star first and foremost. His prowess on the track translated to his performance on the football field, where he became the starting quarterback and a 4-star recruit by the end of his high school career. He chose Baylor University to stay close to home and continue his dual sport pursuits. Griffin's early enrollment at Baylor allowed him to compete with the track team in the 2008 season, and his impact on the football field was immediate. As a freshman quarterback, He was a revelation, finishing the season with impressive statistics that earned him the Big 12 Freshman of the Year award. However, the 2009 season brought a significant setback when Griffin tore his ACL in the third game. This injury sidelined him for the rest of the year, but he came back stronger in 2010. His performance that season showed marked improvement, with increased passing accuracy and yardage. The 2011 season was Griffin's breakout year, highlighted by an upset victory over TCU and culminating in his winning the Heisman Trophy. His college career made it clear that he was a special talent, leading to high expectations as he declared for the 2012 NFL Draft. Washington, desperate for a franchise quarterback, traded up to select Griffin with the second overall pick. They paid a steep price, giving up multiple high draft picks to secure his spot. Griffin's rookie season started with a bang, including an impressive debut against the New Orleans Saints that earned him the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Despite a challenging season for the team, Griffin's performances kept them in contention, and they eventually won the NFC East title. His dynamic play earned him Pro Bowl honors and the Rookie of the Year award. The turning point came in a late-season game against the Ravens. Griffin injured his knee but returned to the game, a decision that would have long-term consequences. He sprained his LCL, and although he continued to play, the injury worsened. The playoff game against Seattle saw Griffin playing on a damaged knee, leading to a complete ACL tear. This injury required surgery and extensive rehabilitation. Despite a rigorous recovery process, Griffin was determined to return for the 2013 season. He also decided to reinvent his playing style, shifting from a mobile, read-option quarterback to a pocket passer. This decision, combined with the fact that he was not fully healed, resulted in a disastrous season for both Griffin and Washington. The team finished with a 3-13 record, and head coach Mike Shanahan was fired. In 2014, new head coach Jay Gruden and offensive coordinator Sean McVay took over. Griffin started the season but struggled with performance and injuries. He dislocated his ankle early in the season, leading to Kirk Cousins taking over as the starting quarterback. By 2015, Cousins was firmly established as the starter, and Griffin was relegated to the third-string quarterback, inactive for the entire season. After being released by Washington, Griffin signed a 2-year deal with the Cleveland Browns but continued to battle injuries. Griffin's final stint in the NFL was with the Baltimore Ravens, where he was brought in to mentor Lamar Jackson, a quarterback with a similar skill set to Griffin's early career. Jackson's success, blending his running ability with improved passing skills, was reminiscent of what Griffin could have been. Reflecting on Griffin's career, it's clear that his downfall was due to a combination of factors. His early success set high expectations, but injuries and a rushed return to play significantly impacted his performance. The decision to abandon his strengths and become a pocket passer also contributed to his struggles. Ultimately, Griffin's story is one of unfulfilled potential, making him one of the NFL's greatest what-ifs. Had he taken the time to fully recover and continue to utilize his unique skill set, his career might have had a much different trajectory.